Oh, what's up, demons and demonettes? Tis I, Traxy Demon Queen, and today I wanted to cover the Sylvan Squad for a Ravaged round. But before we get into it, as always, toss a like and subscribe down below. And so as you can see, was the last run from the Sylvan Squad. I didn't do the best. I didn't have a lot of time to run parses, unfortunately, but somehow I still managed to finish fourth. And I will mention, this is not my best squad. This is probably the worst of the four for me. And I'll go into details about that later. But let's get into it. Let's cover the units. Let's see what I'm running. And what I would run that would do better for me. Alrighty. So we have Sylvan Squad. I did a ton of testing because we had Lenya drop the other day on the last one. And she just didn't seem to want to work for me. So, what squad works best for me here is this unit here, where we have Rainer, Dianel, Lily May, Damien, Leica, Brian, Haywin, and Florabelle. Now, that works best for me because of my heroes and their setup. This here is the recommended one, where this is the recommended. This is what's typically performing well for everybody else. So the issue, again, this has to go into quality of heroes and EX weapons. If your Dianel is super built, like me, and your Parisa is not super built, like me, then your Dianel squad will and can outperform the Parisa squad. For whatever reason, it kind of caps off. I didn't really have too much time for testing. I did test some of the Alenia squads, and maybe this squad potentially could have done more damage again had my EX weapons been better on Parisa, but they weren't, because again, I was testing the new hero. So what I'll do is I'll cover what works best for me, and then I'll cover what works best for everybody else. We'll get into the charms. The only difference, right, is going to be Dianel's charms and Parisa's charms between the two, so we'll just cover those in turn when we get to them. So we'll do that, and then we'll go into the formations. Alright, so this is the Dianel squad that works best for me. We have Evo, and then we have Rainer, Lily May, Leica, Dianel, Damien. I mean, Leica's there for buffing and then debuffing the boss. Damien's there for buffing the team. Rainer's there for debuffing the boss. And then we know Lily May's the best boss killer in the game, and then Dianel's there just for extra damage. And just because he works well with all those buffs. This squad, we have Brian's our primary damage dealer because he does deal magic damage. Quickblade seems to work best because we don't have two magic damage dealers. And then we have Florabelle here as our debuffer and secondary damage, with Haywin as our buffer for the squad. So if you look at the damage, right, you can see Dianel does I tried subbing in, when I tried subbing in Lenya, she just didn't do as much. And that's probably why Parisa has the chance to outperform one of our premium units in the situation, because Dianel is not a very good boss killer. And then as you can see, right, Brian's, pretty decent here. And then Florabelle's kind of, right up there with him. And again, she just has that Mark of Agony that debuffs the boss. Same as Leica. It's the same one that has Thorn has. That's why we're running her there. Right, so that's that formation. Now, if we go into the recommended, kind of which is what a little bit more popular that you see people running that just doesn't seem to want to work for me, is you have pretty much the same thing. So you have Leica, but it's a little different. You have Leica on the side, Haywin in the back here, Lily May, Rainer, Florabelle. It's almost the same combination of heroes, just kind of moved around differently. And then you have, over here, you have Parisa in the back. You're running Crescent with Brian and Damien. It's just that if we go to my damage, right, Parisa just doesn't do as much damage. And then the squad just does less damage as a whole. compared to the other one with Dio in it for me. And again, I think that's just because of the quality of the EX weapon on Parisa. But there's nothing I'm really going to do about that. Again, it's the same situation with Reese with Dauntless Squad. I'm not going to build up a hero for a limited time game mode because it is expensive to build those heroes for the yellows, and we have a slew of new heroes coming out soon. So we don't know what heroes are going to fall off and what heroes are going to stay relevant in the future. So there's no point in, at least I don't see the point in investing in niche heroes at this point. Alright, so here we go. Rainer, we're just gonna run the standard, which is the, I always want to call these corrupted charms because they have like, but it's mystic charms. So that's just haste, skill power. He's not really there for his damage anyway. It's not a big deal. We're just trying to get the most out of him for damage wise. Dino is all just gonna be Gale. That's all he needs. That's all I run on him every time, anywhere. Lily May is going to be pretty standard. It's Arcane Charm. Same thing you would run in Dream Realm. Damien, you know, I just do the healing one here. So, healing, alt strength. That's it. That's all he really needs. He doesn't really do much. He's a healer buffer. He's not really there for his damage. So, we don't have to worry about him. Like, she has a hodgepodge, and that's just because I don't really have her charms built up, but what we want to focus on for her is her skill power, right? So you'll notice these all have skill power, and that just yields the best results. So for her, we just need anything with skill power, really. Oh, I did get an updated arcane, so I'll probably run something like this next time, right? So we'll just save that, and that's what I'll run next time. But for her, again, I never really targeted her for charms because there were so many other heroes to target. So we want to just run something that has skill power for her. That could help us out too in getting our slightly higher parse. For Brian, we want to run all Gale charms. Just getting him off quicker helps out a bunch. We don't really have Arcane charms or anything like that. We do, but we want to run Gale because he just does better with more speed. Alright. Haywin, again, is just ult strength and haste because her ult is typically slow. Oh no, sorry, it's healing and skill power. She doesn't have really like a haste charm. That's fine. Yeah, we just need her to heal and get her skills off because it just helps out in everything she does. So it increases her healing. It increases the bonus right here. Increase this, right? So that's your skill power. It plays into her revitalize skills. And that's the big one. So that's why we benefit from skill power. Buffs. So, that's Haywind. And then for Florabelle, we run, again, this way. I don't know why it wants me to do that. I hate that. So, that's one of those things I hate. So, obviously, we don't want to run Eagle Charm. We want to run Mystic Charm because we want to increase in her skill because that's what she benefits the most because that's what pumps up the damage for her little minion, her child soldiers, minions, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, so we just leave those on, and that works best for her. As for when it comes to Parisa, I run 2 here. We want, like, 2 of the Swift Charms to just speed her up, and then just 1 Gale Charm to give her a slight boost to attack. So we boost up her attack a little bit, but we primarily want to make her faster, because the faster she can get off, the better. And the problem I'll show you, and why we need to have her EX weapon built up, is that normal attack hits 1 more target after. So, the more of her EX weapon, she has, obviously, it's gonna build up her damage, but Yeah, normal attacks hit one more target after inflicting mark 2 marks, right? So it just quickens up her skill, right? So normal attacks hit one more target. Oh, that's for her burst ability. So that doesn't really build into it. That just it's just that her EX weapon needs to be higher for more damage to pump out. That's probably what the problem is that we need to have her at least at EX. I would think 10, maybe higher. I'm not going to build her up to EX 10. I'm not going to build her up to EX 15. I'm going to save for new hero testing. I'm going to save for the next Celestial because Denlinger, because they seem to want to put the Celestial to have their best at plus 15. Anyway, that's it for this one. No more complaining. And I will catch you all in the next one. Laters.